YouTube, it's Delta Zero. Hello YouTube, it's Delta 0125 here again. Got a few updates for you. One, I got rid of the recliner behind me because I'm thinking about finally getting a bed moved in here. Not sure if I want the one from the guest room or not, but I don't know, because then I have to basically permanently move it in here, sort of say. Not permanently, but basically once it gets in here, it'd be too much of a hassle, you know, to bring it back out or whatever. So, I don't know. I've just been thinking about it. By the way, Rat Dog here, the newer dog in the house. My mom's in the hospital, so I gotta watch her during the day now. It's actually night, but my stepdad's downstairs on Netflix or something and doesn't want her screwing around on the desk below him or some shit. But, I choke the hell out of her every day, but I can't. Other than that, see, oh yeah, got a new gun that I'm going to review. I need to do the 20 gauge review. Move my guns in the gun cabinet. Oh, I also, got kind of an unfortunate update. My MAC-10 and my AK were stolen by an old friend of mine while he was checking them out, you know. I left him alone for a split second with him while he was at the bottom of the stairs. I didn't even turn my back for that long. Stop. It was only about maybe 2 seconds, you know, that I had my back turned, and he basically, him and his friend that were at the door, because I invited his friend in because he looked cold, being nice and everything, you know. And I knew this guy for a year and a half. I treated him like a brother pretty much and everything, treated him like family. And he just ups and decides to steal 2 of my guns, which I did, you know, have to file a police report and everything. Took the damn police 3 hours to show up. And the funny thing is, there was a shooting only a half hour later after they'd stolen my guns. Anyways, yeah, I do have actually have 2 police reports here due to the fact that he actually left a firearm here that turned out to be stolen. So, as you can see here, not sure how well you guys can see that. I'm going to block the officer's name though. But, yeah, pretty much got my own report number and everything for my stolen firearms, and then I have one here for the firearm that I turned in, which happened to be stolen out of Palmer, Alaska. And it was a Jimenez J9, so someone's going to be happy to get their cheap-ass gun back. Hey, stop. Sorry, Rat Dog's trying to lick my face. Anyways, someone will be happy that they got their cheap $100 High Point clone or whatever back. But even though it's all messed up and it didn't work anything, but cop pulled the bullets out of the magazine and ran the prints on those that was below the top one. And oh, that's the funny part too. If I decided to actually take action and shoot the guy, I could have, because 1, he was stealing firearms, and 2, he handed me a gun that had ammunition in the magazine. So that tells me that he had ammunition that was 9mm, you know. And my MAC-10, of course, as you guys might know, is 9mm, so I wouldn't have known if he turned, you know, loaded a couple rounds in the magazine when he turned his back. But, of course, school across the street, the kindergartners and the preschoolers were getting out, and there's a bus full of children and shit, which also is another reason why the cops said that they need to catch this guy ASAP, is because they ran out with firearms in full view of these kids and the bus driver and the attendant, you know, and they basically threw them in their van and slammed it in reverse before I even could get a partial on the license plate, which I knew the cops would have wanted. But anyways, they slammed it in reverse and took off down the street, and our van, of course, had frost all over it and wasn't warmed up or anything, so after I'd warmed that up, we went looking for them over where the apartments were and stuff, you know, while I was on the phone with the dispatcher, and couldn't find them, so we went back here, and she dispatched an officer over here. It took them 3 hours to show up, though. And my computer's doing something weird. Anyways, by the way, this dog acts more like a cat than anything for some odd reason. But, so, anyways, my MAC-10 and my AK are pretty much gone for now until either he gets pulled over with them or the person that he gives them to, sells them to, trades them to, or whatever gets pulled over with them. But then they become evidence for about a month until the trial goes through and everything, and then, if I really want them back, I have to go through the process of getting back through evidence. which will take a while, but I'll get them back eventually, hopefully. All I actually need, though, is the parts that are registered, which are the receivers, and I can just rebuild my gun however, in case, they decide to take parts off or fuck it up or whatever. Which would piss me off to all hell and back, but, yeah, this guy's basically got 4 felonies now pending. 2 for my firearms being stolen, and then, if they catch him, that's also 2 more felonies, which is possession of a stolen firearm. And then he's got 1 for the theft of the firearm that was the handgun they left here, which I gave to the detective the next day when he showed up because I forgot about it because I was too busy running around trying to find my info when the other cop was here. And I put the gun in the guest room over here to keep my friends from messing around with it because whenever they come over, they like to, see my new guns. And they're like, oh yeah, okay, cool, whatever, But those ones, I actually know a lot better, and they know me a lot better. Pretty much those ones I can actually trust. This guy, honestly, the way he was looking that day when he took him, I shouldn't have trusted him. It was stupid on my part, I know. But we'll just say lesson learned. I'm not showing my firearms to anyone anymore unless, I know exactly where they live, and I know their parents, I know everyone, and I especially know them. And even then, I'd show them to them, close watch over here. And even then, I'd probably question whether I should show them to him or not. And if I even have that thought cross my mind that says no, I'm not going to do it. But people that I know I can trust are like my friends on my airsoft team, which, I've been to their houses, talked to their parents and everything, it's permanent address. But people like my friend Bryson, I can trust. People like my friend Tim, who I've known since kindergarten, I know I can trust. He lives just across the street, as a matter of fact. And it looks like Kenny's online. One of my friends up here. Anyways, people like my friend Richard, I know I can trust. Basically, people I know are not going to steal my firearms. This guy, I kind of should have, thought about it more because the way he was acting, like, oh yeah, you got any for sale, Oh yeah. Yo, can you loan me this one? I was like, wait a minute, loan you a firearm? Anyways, we'll just say lesson learned. But yeah, I only turned my back for 2 seconds because he asked me to go get around for the AK to show his friend. And I asked him once, is his friend cool at the bottom of the stairs? As in, is his friend going to steal my gun as soon as I turned my back? And he's like, no, he's cool, Go to the top of the stairs, I asked him again, are you sure he's cool? Yeah, just go get the round. I was like, okay, whatever, because that wasn't unusual for him to ask me to go get a round for anything, to show someone. So I take 2 steps, almost 3, I'm on like a half step forward on the 3rd, and I hear the door behind me slam. So I turn around and I'm like, great, his friend just ran out the door with my MAC-10, and I'm going to have to ask him to go get it from, go chase his friend down for me. Turn around and I look downstairs, both of them are gone, I'm like, fuck. So I go flying down the stairs, and yes, I know I'm using language, go fuck yourselves, trolls. Anyways, I go flying down the stairs, and you stop. I go flying down the stairs, open the door, look to my left, and then they just bolt to their van. And I'm like, I yell out, what the fuck? As in, what the fuck are you doing? And the guy that I knew, I'm not going to mention any names because that's part of the investigation that's ongoing. I'm not supposed to mention anything about their names or anything, but, or a description of their van or anything. Anyways, I yell out, what the fuck? The guy that I knew turns around and looks at me. He's like, oh shit, that kind of look on his face, like, oh shit, he might have a gun, he might try to shoot me or something, Which I didn't. I was actually thinking about grabbing my USP, but I didn't. Which, like I said, was because the kid's over across the street. I didn't want to accidentally miss and hit a kid, and go to prison for the rest of my life. So, anyways, that guy jumps in the van, and then his friend throws my AK in the back. I'm pretty sure it was his friend that threw the AK in, because that would be kind of hard to do, jumping in through a driver's side of the vehicle. But anyways, I think that he had my MAC-10, and his friend had my AK, as I remember. His friend threw my AK in the back, he throws my MAC-10 in the passenger seat, and we both jump in, slam doors shut, as I'm almost about halfway to their vehicle. I'm right in front of the window, right below my room, as a matter of fact. I'm almost to the end of that window, and they slam it in reverse and take off before I could even get a partial on a license plate. But I gave the description of the dispatchers, my heart's racing and everything, like, what the fuck, Sort of an adrenaline rush. Anyways, I do that, and then I get my serial numbers and everything, finally. Had to go out to the shed and rip the side of the box off my Wazzer 10, because anyone that buys one from a store knows that, sorry, had to wipe my laptop down with Lysol. Anyways, anyone that buys a Wazzer 10 brand new knows that the side of the box has a white label on it, usually, which has the serial numbers and everything like that on it. Anyways, I had to give that to the cop. I had to go get the receipt for my MAC-10 out of my range bag and give that to the cop because that had the serial number on it. He wrote everything down and whatnot, took the report and all that. And then the next day, the detective showed up and here's the funny part, I found out his name overnight because back when we were in the apartments, they got kicked out of them, and I searched up his wife's name from Facebook, which is, I got it from another friend, not going to mention who, but I found his wife's name on Facebook, searched her name through a online court record search up here. I'm not going to say the exact website, but it's pretty easy if you just go look it up. Anyways, I searched her name, and I found his name in there, his full name, because they were both, unlawful, finally rat dog hops down, anyways, unlawful detainment, enforceable entry or something like that for the apartment, which is the charge I guess they stuck them with for them not paying rent in their apartment and staying there. So I got that, and I got his name. I told the detective that night on the phone, what I thought his name was. And he's like, oh, okay, well, I'll print off a picture and I'll bring it over and, you tell me if this is the guy. Brought the picture over, and I already saw it through this, back of the picture because I held it in the light a little bit to make sure that, he had the info and everything, and he folded it in half, and I was like, I'm already about 30% sure. He turned around, sure enough, 100% sure it was the guy. They had a mugshot of him and everything, so now if the guy's pulled over, he's going to have 4 felony warrants that I know of, because I looked up his name, and, in the last week, and he's got, for some odd reason, he's got the one for the theft of the handgun he left, and theft of a vehicle. Don't know why, but I guess he stole a vehicle and he stole a handgun or something. And he's got the 2 thefts for my firearms. But anyways, that's just a little bit of a rant of what's been going on. My mom's in the hospital and whatnot. Should be getting out this week. So anyways, just a quick little teaser. Not sure how well you guys can see that. Doesn't, I don't think it has a serial number on the side of that, but anyways, yeah, Smith & Wesson. I'm going to be doing this video next, so I will see you guys next video.